Good morning everyone. My name is Dr. Saurabh Roy. I welcome you all in the lecture of microwave engineering. In the last lecture we discussed about the circular waveguide. So now we will discuss about the cavity resonator and what are the different types of cavity resonator as well as frequency of the cavity resonator. So those are the key points of the lecture: cavity resonator, rectangular cavities, cylindrical cavities. So first see what is the microwave cavity. So microwave cavity, it is a metallic enclosure that confines the electromagnetic energy. So in the last unit as well as last lecture we studied about the resonator. So either in circular, that is circular waveguide, or rectangular waveguide we studied, that is a rectangular waveguide with dimension in x-axis the value is A and in the y-axis the length is B. And we are also discuss about the circular waveguide. Now cavity resonator is whenever both plate or both side of the waveguide it is enclosed by the metal plate. Means if it is, this is considered the rectangular waveguide, then this side also we close the metal plate and this side also we are closing it by metal plate. Okay, so by closing the metal plate, so the energy, electromagnetic energy, so earlier case we have seen the energy is or the wave is flow in the z direction. Okay, so now if we will place another plate is there, then from that side of reflection will come. Okay, so it confines the electromagnetic energy, so that is called microwave cavity and depends on the structure. If it is rectangular shape, then it will called as rectangular cavity resonator. If it is circular, then it is we call it as a circular cavity resonator. Okay, so it is a metallic enclosure that confines the electromagnetic energy. Now we will see the stored electromagnetic energy in the cavity resonator determine its equivalent inductance and capacitance. Whatever the stored electromagnetic energy in the cavity resonator define its equivalent inductance and capacitance. Okay, so next point is depends on the different type of structure. So we can define the cavity or classify the microwave cavity in rectangular cavity resonator, circular cavity resonator as well as recent cavity resonator. Okay, so that is the one microwave cavity is shown there. So here if you seen, that is rectangular cavity, that is a rectangular structure. Okay, so here length of that is considered L. Okay, so what is the difference between rectangular waveguide and rectangular cavity? Here both plate are shorted by metal waveguide, okay, or metal plate. So here both plate inside this source end and receiving end, both plates are shorted by metal plate. Okay, and we are considering the length of this microwave cavity is L. So what happen when both plated will be shorted? So first see the traveling wave. So if it is source, or we are considering the traveling wave is traveling in this particular direction. So whenever it plays, whenever it comes in that particular end, that is receiving side, so here metal plate is there, so it is shorted. So wave will reflected back from that side. So the reflection wave will like that. So we can mention that first one is the traveling wave, which is travel in particular positive z direction. Then whenever it will come or that reach that particular point, that wave is reflected back. So that is the reflected wave, that is travel. So in cavity resonator, if both side is shorted, so there is this type of pattern is there. This is the incident and the other one is the reflected, and that is called the standing wave pattern will generate. Okay, so you see the difference in the cavity resonator, both side it is shorted. So that is the difference between microwave cavity resonator and rectangular waveguide. Okay, so here both plates are shorted and incident wave and reflected wave is there. So in rectangular waveguide we have seen we are not considering the reflected wave. So in the cavity resonator the traveling wave as well as reflecting wave is there and it creates standing wave pattern. Okay, now theoretically a given resonator has infinite number of resonant modes. theoretically a given resonator has infinite number of resonant modes, but in the cavity resonator we are impressed some signal. Okay, so depends on frequency of impressed signal is equal to a resonant frequency and maximum amplitude of standing wave will occur. Okay, so whatever the impressed signal means that is inserted in that particular rectangular cavity resonator, so that inserted signal, impressed signal, is equal to the resonant frequency of a maximum amplitude of the standing wave occurs. Okay, so that signal frequency and whatever the resonating frequency, so if both are equal, then maximum amplitude of standing wave occurs, and due to the maximum amplitude is occurred, so electric field intensity as well as magnetic field intensity at that particular point will be same. Okay, so that is the cavity resonator. Now we will see the rectangular cavities. Okay, so that is the rectangular cavity. So it is in rectangular manner. The rectangular cavity resonator, the length is, we are considering in x direction A, in y direction we can consider it B, and in the z direction the length is L. Okay, so after L the plate is shorted. Okay, so that is the things of cavity. So here both sides are shorted by using metal plate. Okay, so that is the rectangular cavity with length L and its rectangular pattern. Okay, so now we'll see in the rectangular cavity the electromagnetic field inside the rectangular cavity should satisfy the Maxwell equation. Okay, another point, the wave equation, whenever we will find out its wave equation, so that is similar compared to our rectangular waveguide, but in z direction also we are considering its field or its plate in the z direction. Earlier case we are considering in x and y, but now in this case we are considering the z direction also. Okay, so similar, the calculation is similar, only z direction we are applying its boundary condition. Okay, because in the boundary condition is 0 tangential E at all boundary walls. The electric field values in all boundary walls, the electric field tangential values. So electric field varies, there is 6 particular walls. So this one, that one, and this side, opposite side, that side also. So all the tangential value of electric field at that, those particular values are 0. Okay. So that is the rectangular cavities. So now we will see the wave equation of the rectangular cavities. So whenever we will see the wave equation, for two cases will be there. One is the transverse magnetic, another one is the transverse electric. So for the transverse magnetic case, we will find out only electric field component. So the electric field equation of the rectangular cavity, in case of transverse electric, the field equation will be this one, Ez equal to E naught Z sin m pi by a x sin n pi by b y into cos p pi by d into Z. Okay, so we know that A is value to the, for a rectangular cavities, A is the x direction, the dimension is A, and y direction B, and Z direction the value is D. Okay, so that the length is Z direction, the length is D. Okay, so that is the earlier case, there is the equation e to the power minus j beta z, because we are considering this traveling wave and its travel from a rectangular waveguide from this point to the infinite length we are considering. Okay, but now this case length is finite, and after that metal plate is used. So whenever we will use its boundary condition, we will get this value. So this is the changes for rectangular waveguide and rectangular cavity resonator. So those terms will be there. Okay, so we can find out by using boundary condition in this particular, this plate and that particular plate. So that is the equation for the transverse magnetic case of a rectangular cavity resonator. The equation is Ez equal to E naught Z sin m pi by a x sin n pi by v y and to cos p pi by d into Z. So here E naught Z is the electric field intensity, that is the magnitude of the electric field intensity in particular Z direction. Okay. Now we'll see where m is the
we can consider 0, 1, 2, 3. That is the half-wave periodicity in the x direction. So similarly, m is the half-wave periodicity in the y direction, and z is the half-wave periodicity in the z direction. So earlier case in the rectangular waveguide, we have seen the m and n value is there, z value, that p value is not there, but this case p value will be there. So that is the half-wave periodicity in the z direction. Okay. So this part is added in the rectangular cavity resonator. So earlier case only m and n, but this case we'll see that p terms will be, that is half-wave periodicity in the z direction. So that is the field equation for transverse magnetic case. Now we will see the field equation for transverse electric cases. So for transverse electric case, magnetic field component will be there. So whenever we see the Az, that in the transverse electric mode of a rectangular waveguide, this component is not there. That time e to the power minus j beta z. But in the resonator, whenever in rectangular cavity resonator, these terms will be there. Okay, because the field variation is not a earlier case. The length is infinity we are considering, and it is traveled along, so that the traveling wave e to the power minus j beta z we are considering. Okay, but now it's like a standing wave pattern. So incident wave there, then again it is coming from the reflected back, and if we put it boundaries in that particular electric field boundaries, then we will reach this particular solution. Okay, so here also m and p, we can consider the same things. M represent the number of half-wave periodicity in the x direction. Similarly, n y direction, and p, that is half-wave periodicity in the z direction. Okay. So now we'll see the transverse electric as well as transverse magnetic. Now we'll find out its resonating frequency. So it acts as a resonator type, which resonate particular frequency. Okay. So the resonating frequency, whenever we'll considering the frequency, so k square equal to m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square plus p pi by d whole square. So it is coming from the this particular equation. So this square, because m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square p pi by d whole square equal to, we are considering k square. Okay. So earlier case we are considering this square plus this square equal to this particular, but this consider. So this case, the k square will be m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square plus p pi by d whole square. Okay. So for a lossless dielectric, the value of k square equal to, we know the value is omega square mu epsilon. For a lossless dielectric means the alpha value is 0. So no losses is occurs. So k square value will be omega square mu epsilon. So if we place that k square equal to omega square mu epsilon, then we can write down this omega square mu epsilon equal to m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square plus p pi by d whole square. Okay, and we know the omega equal to 2 pi. Okay, so from this equation, so we can write f equal to 1 by root over mu epsilon 2 pi root over m pi by a whole square plus n pi by b whole square plus p pi by d whole square. Okay. So from this equation, we can calculate its resonating frequency. So if we take pi outside, then this pi and this pi become cancel. So we will get 1 by 2 root over mu epsilon m by a whole square plus n by b whole square plus p by d. Okay. So we can see the equation will become resonating 1 by 2 root over mu epsilon root over m by a whole square plus n by b whole square plus p by d whole square for a resonant frequency of a rectangular cavity resonator. Okay. So for a greater than b, so earlier case also we have seen for a rectangular waveguide that a must be greater than b, but it's less than d. So d is the length of that cavity resonator. Okay. So for the dominant mode, so we know the definition of the dominant mode. The mode have lowest cutoff frequency, but here the mode having has lowest resonating frequency. So dominant mode will be TE101. Okay. So for a rectangular cavity resonator, the lowest mode, dominant mode which have lowest resonating frequency is called dominant mode. So that is TE101. Okay. So TE10 means M equal to 1, N equal to 0 and P equal to 1. So those are the values of M and P. Okay. So whenever we will find out its resonating frequency, either it is in transverse electric or transverse magnetic case, the resonating frequency equation is same for a rectangular cavity resonator. So what is the difference between rectangular waveguide and rectangular cavity resonator resonating frequency? Only this term is added. So earlier case we are for rectangular waveguide we are getting FC equal to 1 by 2 root over mu epsilon root over m by a whole square plus n by b. But here we will get, that time we are finding out its cutoff frequency, means the minimum frequency which wave propagation will start. But rectangular cavity resonator, the which have lowest resonating frequency, because it is a resonator. Okay, because standing wave is moving like that, then reflected wave will come, and continuous incident and reflected wave is moving. So it is act as a resonator. Okay. So for dominant mode, we can see for A greater than B, the value will be TE101. Now coming to the method of excitation. So we already see there the impressed signal we are mentioning for a particular rectangular cavity resonator or cavity resonator, it can resonate in infinite modes. Okay. So for impulse frequency, whenever the electric field, method of excitation of wave modes in a resonator, those are the method of excitation. So a straight wire probe inside at the position of maximum electric intensity is used to excite a desired mode. Okay. So a probe is inserted at the position of maximum electric field. So the maximum electric field is there. So a probe is inserted, it is there to resonate a particular mode. Okay. So a probe is inserted. So that is the cavity resonator. Here both sides are used by metal plate, both sides are closed. Okay. Now a probe is inserted to resonate that particular mode. So that particular probe, so whatever the impress, that should be matched with that particular frequency, then maximum electric field will be there. Okay. So a probe is inserted at the position of maximum electric intensity to use to excite a desired mode. Whatever our mode is desired, so to excite that particular mode, so we are inserting that particular probe there, and that if frequency is matched, then that maximum impressed signal frequency and that particular mode will get maximum value of electric field as well as magnetic field intensity. Now, so another method is loop coupling placed at the position of maximum magnetic intensity is utilized to launch a specific mode. Okay. So that is whatever in the position of maximum electric field. Another thing, so you can use the maximum magnetic field, because we know the maximum magnetic field is present at the side of the walls. Okay. So a loop coupling placed at the position of maximum magnetic intensity is utilized to launch a specific mode. So there are two-way method of excitation, either in electric field or in magnetic field. Okay. So now we'll see another cavities, that is cylindrical cavities. So whatever the method, all the cavity resonator, two ends closed by metal walls. So same things, but here structure is in cylindrical structure. Okay. So we can consider the diameter is d equal to 2 and the length also, here consider length equal to d, or you can consider length equal to L. So those are the cylindrical cavities. Here both sides of the cylinder is closed by, or two ends is closed by metal walls. Okay. So in the cylindrical cavities also we are using two different mode, or we will see two different mode. One is transverse electric, another one is transverse magnetic. So first see the field solution for transverse electric. So whenever the field solution of transverse, you maximum people, you are aware about this equation. So this part we know for the transverse electric mode of a circular waveguide. So this part is there. Okay. So only the changes will be this part. Okay. For a cylindrical coordinate system, whenever we are using to solution the circular waveguide, now two part or two ends of circular waveguide is closed by metal walls. This end, source end, as well as receiving end, both end are closed. So now we are using that electric field tangential component at the once the value is 0, and we'll find out this particular point. So the overall field equation for transverse electric modes of a cylindrical cavity resonator, the H of Z will be H naught Z Zn, Hx of NPR divided by A cos of n pi sin q pi by d Z. Okay. So those things already we mentioned in a tabular format, n and p. So those value are same. So here we mentioned p value here n equal to 0, n equal to 1. For a Bessel function equation we mentioned. So those things are for a, that is the Zn Bessel function, that is the first kind, and we find out its roots value for different value of n and p. So for same thing, same values will be same compared to the circular waveguide. Only the changes will be this part. So here the n is 0, 1, 2 is the number of periodicity in the phi direction. Next p is zeros of the field in the radial direction, and another thing q will be that q is the represent the number of half wave in the axial direction. Okay. So and then H naught Z is the amplitude of the magnetic field. So this is the amplitude of the magnetic field, and another one Zn is the Bessel function of first kind. Okay. So this is the Bessel function of the first kind, and H naught Z is the amplitude of the magnetic field, and those N, P and Q, so those are mentioning the periodicity in the phi direction, field in the radial direction, as well as half wave in the axial direction. So those are the field equation for transverse electric cases. Now we'll see the field equation for transverse magnetic cases. So only the changes will be this part Zn, here instead of x dash and p, x and p will come, and cos q pi by d into Z instead of. Okay. So where E naught Z is the amplitude of the electric field, and Zn is the Bessel function of first kind. Okay. Now to find its resonating frequency, there will be two different resonating frequency, because here the values are earlier case that roots value is x dash n p for transverse electric case, and for transverse magnetic case the value is x n p. So the roots values are changes. So the resonating frequency for circular cavity or cylindrical cavity resonator is quite different for transverse electric and transverse magnetic case. Okay. So see the resonating frequency for transverse electric mode, we know the k square equal to x dash n p square divided by a and q pi by d whole square. So Fr equal to, we can write down 1 by 2 pi root over mu epsilon x n p divided by a whole square plus q pi by d whole square, because here k square equal to we are considering omega square mu epsilon. So if k square equal to we are considering omega square mu epsilon, so if we place this value in there, then we can reach the equation is omega equal to, we can write down 2 pi f whole square and root over these terms will come. Okay. So for a circular waveguide, and the changes is there. So this part is added, compare, because both side wall is shorted and it resonant in particular frequency mode, Desire mode. Okay. So theoretically it can be for a particular cavity resonator, theoretically it can define as an infinite mode is existed, but whenever we will see impressed signal we are exciting, if it is matched with that particular mode or that mode, then maximum electric and magnetic field, electric field intensity is observed, and we can find out its Desire mode of resonating frequency. Okay. So that is the equation for transverse electric modes. Okay. So similarly we can find out the transverse magnetic mode. So there the changes, k value will is changes. So here instead of x dash and p, x and p will come, and we are finding out its similar method for a lossless condition. We are considering k square equal to omega square mu epsilon, and we are find out its resonating frequency Fr equal to 1 by 2 pi root over mu epsilon root x np divided by a whole square plus q pi by d whole square. Okay. So here a is the means that part of the rectangular circular waveguide. Okay. Radius of the circular or cylindrical resonator. Okay. Now, it is interesting to note that TM11 mode is dominating mode where 2A greater than D. Okay, and that the T11 mode is dominated mode when D greater than 2A. So, what is D? D is the length of that particular circular cylindrical cavity resonator. If 2A, that is the diameter, if its diameter is greater than length, then dominated mode will be TM110. If diameter is less than the length, then the dominant mode will be TE11 mode. So here diameter is mentioned by 2A, that is earlier case we mentioned radius equal to R equal to A, then diameter will be 2A. Another thing is the length of that cylindrical resonator we are considering D. Okay. So if 2A is greater than D, means this diameter is greater than this value. If 2A is greater than D, okay, then the dominant mode will be TM110. Okay, and if D is greater than 2A, means if D is greater than 2A, then dominant mode will be TE111. Okay. Now we will solve some problem based on this cylindrical as well as rectangular cavity resonator. So first calculate the lowest resonating frequency of a rectangular cavity resonator of dimension A, B and D is given. What D is the length, A is the dimension in x-axis, B is the dimension in y-axis. So see, for a dominant mode, we already mentioned for a rectangular cavity resonator, the dominant mode is T101. So first we will see its resonating frequency. We are trying to find out its lowest lowest resonant frequency. So for dominant mode, so here M value will be 1. So M value will be 1. N value is 0 and P value is 1. Okay. So M is 1, N is 0 and this one is P value. Okay. So we will put those values and A, B, D values we know. A equal to 2 centimeter, B equal to 1 and D 3 centimeter. So if we will place, and here nothing is considered, so we can consider the air field. So here 1 by root over mu epsilon will come C by 2. Root over, this part N becomes 0, so this whole part will become 0. So we can consider 1 by A whole square plus P equal to 1 by D. Okay. So now we will place the value of C equal to, we know, 3 into 10 to the power 8 divided by 2 root over 1 by A equal to 2 centimeters, so 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 in terms of meter we can write, plus 1 divided by D equal to given 3 into 10 to the power minus 2 we are considering, because it is in, we are considering in meter, and if we will solve this particular solution we will get its resonating frequency. Okay. So the resonating frequency of that rectangular cavity resonator we will find out, the value will be 9 gigahertz. Okay. So we can write down the equation will be like that, C by 2 root over M by A whole square plus N by B whole square plus P by D whole square. So particular dominant mode we know T101, so M equal to 1, N equal to 0 and P equal to 1. If you place this both way, so we will get the resonating frequency, that is 9 gigahertz. Okay. Now we will solve some another problem. So calculate the resonating frequency of a circular resonator of following dimension is given. Diameter is 12.5 centimeter and length is 5 centimeter for TM012 mode. Here a mode is given as well as, so diameter is given 12.5 centimeters. So we can find out its radius. A equal to 12.5 divided by 2, you can consider 6.25 centimeters. Now we will know this particular equation Fr equal to, for a circular resonator, 1 by 2 pi root over mu epsilon root x of np divided by A whole square plus q pi by D whole square. So D is given, length is given, A also we know. Okay. So here 0, 1, 2 mode is given, so we can know N, P and Q value we also find out from this value. So for a x and p equal to 2.405 for TM01. So TM01 for a circular waveguide, we have seen that equation of Bessel function root equation, the value is 2.405. So value is 2. So that value will directly put or place there and we will find its resonating frequency. We know the value of x and p, we know the value of q, we know the value of a, we know the value of d. So a is the radius, so a equal to 2a equal to, so a will get a equal to 6.25 centimeters. Okay. So similarly d value is given, that is length is 5 centimeter. So 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Okay. So if you place all those values, so you know 1 by root over mu epsilon equal to c. So c by 2 pi root over those values. Okay. So x of np value is 2.405. If you place all those values in this particular equation fr, then we can find out its resonating frequency. Okay. So become 6.27 gigahertz. So x and p will put 2.405. A value we know, D value we know. Q will, we are considering NP equal to 0 and 1. So another TM 0 and 2. So Q value is 2. So you will place all those value while reach, we will find the value is for resonating frequency for that circular resonator or cylindrical resonator type with length D equal to 5 centimeter and 2A equal to 12.5, and for TM012 mode, the FR will be 6.27 gigahertz. Now we will see the another. Calculate the resonating frequency of a dimension A equal to 3 centimeter, B equal to 2 centimeter, L equal to when the mode of operator is T101. So that is a rectangular here because A, B and L, A, B is given. For a circular resonator, the radius will given or diameter will be given, but here A and B, so that is a rectangular cavity resonator. So we know the rectangular to 1 by 2 root over mu epsilon root over m by a whole square plus n by b whole square plus p by d whole square. So if you place the value of m and n p, because m and n p is given, m equal to 1, n equal to 0 and p equal to 1. So m equal to 1, n equal to 0 and this one is p. So if you place all those value, for a equal to 3 centimeter, we know b equal to 2 centimeter and length value that is d equal to 4 centimeter. And these things we can write down c by 2 root over m by a whole square plus p by d whole square, because n by b, n value is 0. Okay, so this whole term become 0. Now put the value of m value is, we can write down the m value is 1, a value is given, that is a value is 3 centimeters. So we can write down 3 into 10 to the power minus 2. Value is, P value is given, P value is 1 and D value is given, the length is, so that is the D value, the length is 4 centimeters. So from this, if we put all those values, C we know 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Okay. So if we put all those values, we will find out the value of resonating frequency. So the value of resonating frequency will be 6.25 gigahertz. So thank you everyone. So in the next lecture we will see what are the different remaining parts of the cavity resonator, like coupling as well as quality factor of the resonator. So in the next lecture we